Very good morning for the participants of the today's webinar session. We have a very reputed personality among us, Chef Ramu Butler. He is a well-known personality in the hospitality industry. He has been an executive chef in various hotels, including the Residence of Coimbatore, Ramada, Hilton, and the list goes on. He is presently a chef cum restaurateur at B at Bay, Kochi, and he is also a hospitality and kitchen consultant. He is also the vice president of SICA, which is known as the South India Culinary Association of the Kerala chapter, and he is also the vice president of Young Chefs Association of India. And he is part of the education committee of IFCA. He has worked in many countries, both in Europe and in Gulf, and he has also worked with many celebrities, including Chef Sanjay Kapoor, Irfan Imtiaz, Hans Kark at Germany, Marcos Samuel at Sweden, and so on. As the students of Catering and Hotel Management, you all should know that even though this is a profession, you should think that it also is a passion of your life. Unless you think that the work you do is part of your passion, you will never succeed in your life, or you will never be a successful entrepreneur. Maybe you may get a job and you may earn some money, but then when you turn back after a few years and look back at your career, you may have a bank balance, but you would not have achieved, or you would not have been recognized by anyone in the hospitality industry. Today, we have Chef Ramu Butler, who has got a worldwide recognition among the chefs and the hospitality industry. He has taken cooking as his passion, and his name also says Ramu Butler. I always think that it was the name given after he joined the industry, because butler means the meaning of butler. So the name itself says that he is part of the hospitality industry. So it's a great privilege for the AJK College of Arts and Science, Department of Catering Science and Hotel Management, to have Chef Ramu Butler amongst us. We are also having in our session today the head of the department, Mr. Jayan of Catering Science and Hotel Management, Mr. Murali, the assistant professor of Catering Science and Hotel Management, and Mr. Jonathan of Catering Science and Hotel Management. They are also part of this session, and there are students from the present third years, the second years, and the freshers who have joined in our college in this academic year. I would also tell the department to also encourage the passed out students and alumni to join this type of webinar program, as this would give a lot of exposure for the people who are taking part of this program. I think Chef Ramu has come to our college, AJK College, for some workshops and for some programs. So he has also seen the college infrastructure and the type of learning we adopt here. So I once again, on behalf of the AJK College, I would welcome Chef Ramu Butler for this program, and also for going to spend his valuable time amongst these budding chefs of this world. Welcome you, Chef, and the session is yours. Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, Vanakkam and good morning to one and all. Well, that was a very elaborate description about me. Thanks, Mr. Ajit. AJK is nothing new for me, because I've been to your college for taking the molecular gastronomy workshop, and I've been a couple of times also, and it is a wonderful college. And I'd like to thank the management and Mr. Ajit for giving such an opportunity for all your students, and the kind of facilities and what you have is really amazing for a person who has a passion to become a chef, or who's interested in a hotel industry. I think this is a right college. It is a wonderful college with all options. it's a nice place to study. Well, the time is running out, so let's start the program. See, today I'll be taking you through. It's not going to be more into the deeper into a particular cuisine or anything. So this is going to be all about the culinary options. Like apart from the convention options, what we have when we finish our hotel management, the other options, whatever is available, and what is going to be in the near future. So this is what I'm going to take you through, and it will be very, very useful for all the students, especially the final year students and the students who are passed out as well, who has certain passion and inherent talent. So this is all for all of you. And in fact, your faculties, faculties would have definitely, taken through you through certain kind of counselings for your career, but this is going to be something really different. So if you have any doubts, you can always, raise your hands and you can ask me questions. Okay. And of course, there will be a question and answer session after this. So the entire program is done. But in case if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me. Okay. So let's go to the program. Okay. And before I go to the program, Mr. Ajit, I would request you to give the sharing option because I have a PowerPoint presentation as well.
It has been already enabled.
Okay, fine. Okay. Normally, a chef thinks like a scientist. This is a very common wording which was passing around. Chef thinks like a scientist, organized like an accountant, plates like an artist, cooks like a mother. And now we are also going to, be in the industry as a kind of doctors as well by giving the hygienic and the Ayush food. So this is the new word which is added in this line. Again, chef career is more than a job. Understanding the relationship between food, hygiene, humanity, passion with bit of calculation, recklessness is required for a chef to be a truly successful person. See, according to me, I would say there is 4 P's. One is passion. The other one is perfection. The passion and passion, patience, perfection, and profit. So let's go to the first one. The passion. See, this is very, very important for anyone to get set in their career and grow up in their life. So without passion, there is a commitment and determination. It is very, very difficult for a person to come up in their life in a particular career because you keep on wavering your mind. So always have a passion. The person who doesn't, maybe sometimes seeing someone else, you would have got inspired, and or seeing the celebrity chefs, you would have joined this hotel industry. This all is fine, but have a passion to go to that particular path. And this passion will have to be coupled with patience, because most of the upcoming students or the present, the students who are studying, they want to very, very soon become an executive chef or a celebrity chef, or they want to become a big shot at the earliest. Very soon they want to become. See, that's not the way it is. See, when you have a passion, you should have that kind of patience where you set your foundation right. If your foundation is not right, then it becomes very, very difficult because you cannot, grow. There's a difference between continuous learning and continual learning. So this I'm talking about continual learning, where you go step by step, make a strong foundation, then grow to the peak. So don't try to go in a continuous way. Don't go straight up, and if anything goes wrong, you straight come down. So don't go for that. Go for a continual learn. So this is where the patience is. It's all about timing. You need to take your sweet timing, set your proper foundation, know your basics right, then there is no one to shake you in the industry. Once the patience is there, this is the time when you should have perfection. See, the passion and patience alone will not take you to the next level. You should have the perfection. See, people do mistakes. Of course, normal human being, definitely we do mistakes. Unless we don't have failures, we don't correct ourselves. So the mistakes, how we correct so that the next time we don't get into the same kind of trouble. So we should always ensure that this perfection has to be corrected at the right time during your patience. Because once you have the passion, you normally have to go into the in a patience way. That is the timing where you make yourself perfect. Once all these 3, passion, patience, and perfection is done, the profit will automatically come for you. So So that's how this industry is. Okay, not just in this industry, you take in any industry, and especially when it comes to hotel industry. See, it has an elaborate options. You know, we all know only the conventional method of working in hotels and restaurants, but that's not the way it is. There are so many other professions which you can take up as a chef. So this is what I'm going to share with you guys, and let me share a PowerPoint presentation for you, so it will be easy for me to go through. Yeah. Okay. Culinary arts is a career. See, it is a connecting skills and employment. Okay. So the culinary arts, it's an art of cooking and science with management, skill and techniques. So it also acts as a tool to prepare you for the future dream of journey, okay, the career journey. So this is how a culinary arts is. And the various programs, you know, this I need not go through, right? So this you might be knowing it. So these are the various options which is available when you do our hotel management or a culinary arts. Now for this, see, a person when they do the 12th standard, by the time they do the 12th standard, they come to know what is their inherent talent. See, the inherent talent is nothing but the natural ability or the inborn skills. See, some person might be very good in arts, some might be good in acting, some might be good in, directly as a chef, right from the childhood, they would be interested in cooking, some would be very interested in photograph, and this must be a inborn skill as well. It is a natural ability which you must be possessing, which you may not have explore too much. But the chef profession, when you combine with this, you get into different arena, you get different options. So the two things which you require for a key to success is the natural ability, that the inborn skills what you possess, if you can identify what exactly that is, coupled with the education and training, the academic side. So once you know the academic, definitely whatever academic you're taking, you see in the hospitality industry, you take BSc or you do only culinary arts, or you want to go for only housekeeping or front office or whichever department it is. That is the academic thing what you're going to take. See, if you're very good at cleanliness, you're a very hygienic person and you want to just get into only housekeeping, so that is an inherent talent which you might be having. So you can always couple with your academic. As I told you before, a person who's very interested in cooking or very interested in hygiene, you can become a chef hygiene inspector. Like this, there are so many careers which I am going to take you through. Okay, so the first one, what I will take you, see, these are some of your skills and interests which you might have had during your childhood time. So this we will come to know. When you cross the age of 18, you will be coming to know. Before that itself, you might come to know. But one of you would definitely have been interested in one of this skills. Definitely would have been interested. And how do you take the chef profession coupled with this inherent skill? So this is where I'm going to teach you. Yeah. So the first thing is, it is the executive chef, master specialty chef. So this is a very common thing, which a very conventional method where we all do a hotel management in our, even if you don't have the inherent skills, you learn from the academic side, you do the practicals, and then you join the hotel industry, motels, resort, restaurants, campground, convention centers, all this, whichever I show, cruise lines, railways, aviation, amusement, but this is all. Okay, so for this, the inherent skill, what you might require is just cooking plus the academic and personal hygiene, which you might be, learning, when you join the hotel management. And the innovation, personal hygiene, of course, it starts right from your childhood, but the innovations also, you'll be learning when you do your academic side. So this is a very conventional way we all have, we chefs, during those periods when we were not much aware of the industry. So we all took up this profession. But later on, I went through so many things and I found out the various options which was available. So this is a very common one. The next one, what I'm going to show you is about food styling. I don't know how many of you are aware of what is food styling. See, the food styling is an art of preparing food to be photographed or filmed. Okay, you do a photographing, you make the food, you do the food in a stylish way, and you even take a photograph. See, there is a different department called photography also coupled with chefs, but this food styling is all about styling the food by itself. So how you want the food to look like. So for this, if you're possessing a inherent skill of drawing, painting, or fashion in your childhood, you couple this with your culinary course, and do, if possible, if you could do a small photography course. This will take you as a food styling specialist, a chef come food stylist. So this will give you a scope in advertisement industry, it will give in movie industry, it will give in social media, food packing, cookbooks, magazines, cookery shows, and you can do freelancing, because this particular profession is mostly taken up by a lot of freelancers, because anyone to they don't want anyone to control them. So it is always taken in such a way. One moment. It is always you have the freedom to go and work for any company. Like if you take of advertisement company, you take of McDonald's, you go for KFC or anything. The kind of slides what they show in for the food. This is what is the food styling what in movies it is there. Even in social medias, you become a blogger. Unless and otherwise you know a proper food styling, it becomes difficult for you to put your blogs in a proper. Through food packaging industry, you would see a lot of these ready-made products which is coming out. All these ready-made packets will have some sort of decorated food in the cover. Like you go for a Shakti masala, or you go for any masala companies or any packed food, you can always see some sort of photograph, a chicken or a mutton which is looking beautiful. So this is where the food styling comes into. So food styling is the first one which I want. The next one is, it's going to be food photography. This is again very closely associated with food styling, where a person who's really interested in his childhood in photography, it could be maybe a person who always liked to take photo, or who's interested in taking photo. If that person, if he's doing a hotel management and if he's doing a culinary course, you want to couple this profession with this, it will be one of these, because there are very few people who are good at food photography. So there are very few food photographers who can really work on the food styling and taking a good photo. And a person, see, you want to make a chicken tikka, a chef knows how a chicken tikka should look. And if he can do the styling and can take a photograph, he is the best successful person. He will be the real successful person. Because a person who doesn't know about a food, like how a burger is presented or how a steak is presented, how will be able to take a photography? Because he may not be having the basic idea of how the presentation will look like. What is a good photograph? So if a person who's a chef and who knows photography, it becomes very easy for him to couple this both profession together and do it very well. And he becomes very successful. So this is one option as a chef food photographer. And you get the scope of job is in advertisements, in movies, social medias, food packaging, cookbooks, magazines, cookery show, again freelancing, and even in making menus. Because a food photographer can make a fantastic menu, good photographs, and he can, when you do a freelance also, you can do this. And a menu, it earns you a lot. And so is the case with the advertisement, moving, or any of the scope which I have shown you. Because a person with this both profession, it's very difficult to get these days. So during even in our period, we used to have two different people, a person to do photographs and a person to do the food styling. And of course, a chef who was cooking. Now all these three coupled together is one single person. So this is the option. Yeah. So let me go to the next option which is available. Food journalism. I don't know how many of you have heard of food journalism. See, this is a profession which is quite popular in abroad. Some countries have really taken this up in a very high way because due to the social media presence. So the food journalism, there are people, you would have seen when in some TV shows and all, the people, a chef who's talking more about a food in a social media, who works for a social media company. So this is about, the food journalist, if he's possessing a good inherent skill of writing, public speaking, and blogging, if it is inherent talent by birth, or he is very interested in this, he can always do an academic course of culinary with a bit of, you can learn. See, journalism, it's not necessary that you need to go to college and learn. You know, there are online courses which is available. A little bit of journalism and a mass communication, if you couple along with it, you can do food journalism in a very, very higher way. You know, because this food journalism is a profession which is catching up and which will be really the future for many companies, especially for this packaging companies. The food bulk production packaging companies are depending upon them. Social media is depending upon them. TV channels, they're depending upon them. The print media, radio stations, bloggings, the freelancers of this profession is a chef food journalist. So he knows how his job is, what he does is basically, he writes about the food. Not only the food, he writes about the food and drinks both, and reports about the food or cooking related events. He interviews chefs and other cooking personalities, okay, and reviews recipes as well in restaurants, and writes the specifications of some food or food products. So this is all he does in newspapers or all the scope what I've shown, like social media, TV channel, all these medias he writes about this. And this food journalism, it becomes very successful unless and otherwise if you're not a chef. Because a chef knows how the food has to be, what goes into the food, what are the ingredients, and a little bit of nutrition knowledge also, which he learns during his culinary course. This all coupled together helps him out to become a very good, successful food journalist. And this is a hot profession which is going to be in the near future. So anyone interested in going for this can always work it. So the next one which I'm going to show is food auditor. Well, this is the hot cake now. Because of this, all these COVID issues, a chef become a food auditor is something which is very much welcome to the government as well as in hotel industry. So for this, a person who's having a inherent skills, who's having eye for detail, who's good at housekeeping and personal hygiene, who's very much concerned about this personal hygiene, housekeeping, and who finds eye for detail. So he can always go for this chef food auditor. Okay. So this again really helps because you know all about food. You know how a food is prepared, what is the thing it should be in that. This is again, you need to learn a little bit of nutrition as well. So when you do your culinary course, there are a lot of online courses which is available for food safety and lead auditors. Now, recently FSSAI has launched many courses. These short-term courses. It's not that expensive. It's just 100 rupees, 600 rupees like that. There are short courses, just for a week or so. So if you do that, they'll certify you through FSSAI itself. So once you do that one, you couple up with your academic side. And for all the upcoming chefs who want to work in the industry, I advise you to go for this small course through FSSAI as not a lead auditor, as a food safety or the the food supervisory course, which is done by the FSSAI. Because in future, when you go for the interview for any industry which is related with the food, one thing which they will ask addition is, apart from your degree or your diploma, is whether you have a food safety or a food hygiene certification. So this is one thing definitely. Even if I interview a person, that's what I would do. I would always ask for it, because this is going to be a mandate, or maybe it can be implemented by the government to have it as a mandate. Definitely the syllabus is going to change in near future, but this is one thing which is already available for you all to study, and it is not a tough course. It is just a short-term course which is just for a week or 4 days. Also, is available. So please try to do this course. It will be a very good benefit for you. It's not necessary to be a third-year student. You can even do during your first year or second. It's not mandated that you should complete your degree and do it. Okay, so when you do, a chef becomes a food safety auditor. So the scope of job is directly in government you can get. That is through FSSAI and SPS. There's all of the safety precautions, and there's a department. In this department, you can become an entrepreneur. You can start your own food audit office. You can be an entrepreneur by yourself. And hospitality sector. Okay, hospitality sector so far, the hotel industry, we used to call the food auditors, the third party food auditors used to come to the hotel. That is before we go for classification, the 5-star classification or 3-star classification or ISO audit. Just before that, we used to always call this food safety auditor, who is to come check the kitchen and other the service parts, and he will certify that okay, you can go for the 5-star certification, because he does all the food safety audit. He has an audit checklist which he goes through that, and then he certifies okay, you can go for an audit or whatever correction is required. He gives all the ideas what you can do so that you can correct and you can go for the certification. But now, once you finish this culinary course with this lead auditor or food safety course, then you become yourself an certified food auditor. So the hospitality sector is looking for multi-talented chefs or multi-talented personalities. So if you have this, it becomes an additional advantage for you to get a job in hotel industry or in food production industry or in bulk cooking or any campground or anywhere. So this is going to become a mandate in the near soon. Of course, AJKCAS is there, but it's not nowhere it is mandate in India. So as I told, okay, the hospitality sector, you get a job. Next, you get in hospitals. In the hospitals also, you will get job. And next is in food industries, where this bulk production food industries, where the packaged food is done. So there also you will get a job. And of course, you can be a freelancer. That is always available in any profession. You can always become a freelancer. But it all depends on how you're interested in starting your work. Yeah. So the next one I will take you is, okay, teaching. Of course, you would have seen your, faculties, you have a lot of faculty who have done the hotel management and worked in industry for some time, and they've taken profession of teaching. So they might have had that inherent talent, or they might have the passion of being to become a teacher, but they studied the hotel management or a culinary course, and so they would have taken a profession. But a lot of people during the childhood itself, they have a passion to become a teacher, or they will be very good at public speaking, or they want to share their knowledge with everyone, because you need to be a kind personality, and you should have that knowledge sharing ability, public speaking, or you should have that passion to become a teacher. If you're a person of that sort, then you can do a bachelor's or a culinary course coupled with a master degree, because that is something which is part of UGC, I guess. I'm not sure. But I think that is an additional advantage for you if you do your master's in hotel management or culinary science. So when you do this, then you get the job as faculty or a professor or dean in colleges, schools. You can always be a personal chef also. So you might be having it. What does teaching got to do with a personal chef? Yes, a lot of people take these people as personal celebrities, like film actors or big celebrities. See, they don't want to go to catering college for studying a course. See, they don't want to get a bachelor's degree, or they don't want to do a commercial cooking. They want to cook something which is of their own taste, for which they don't need basics. They won't be knowing what is the basic of cooking or how it has to be cooked. So for this, a teacher, a person who is taking up this profession as a teaching, becomes a personal chef. And I have a couple of friends who are doing this job. They are personal chefs to some of the celebrities and some of the big businessmen. They go home, they personally teach them, okay, I want to learn murg makhani. Okay, this is how it is taught. That's how they teach it. The same profession can be done by other chefs also, but this is becoming a separate profession. A personal chef is becoming a separate profession by itself. And a person who is good at teaching can only do this successfully. You should have the patience. And of course, a chef who has an experience can definitely do it. But a person who is already teaching, because the teaching goes with the hygiene, safety, their the health condition, and the taste as well. So the personal chef, when you go to the gyms, one simple example is you can see in the gyms, you'll be having personal instructors for certain people, some celebrities or big shots. So they all take this personal chef for them, who has a knowledge of cooking, who knows the knowledge of what is hygiene and the nutrition values of food. So this is what a personal chef's job is. So once he knows all these three, he can successfully become a personal chef. And there's a lot of apps which is available. When they load the profile into the apps, they keep calling. In fact, I have also done for a couple of them, but I didn't take it forward because I had other things to do. Yeah, and of course, you can become a freelancing also. Freelancing job is always available in any kind of profession. Yeah. So the next one is celebrity chefs. Some people, right from the birth, they would like to become a celebrity. See, when you study the hotel management, because these days I think it's all TV and the food channels which is on the TV. Everyone thinks that, okay, let me become a celebrity chef. It's very good. It's very good. If you have an aim in your life to become a celebrity, work towards it. Be focused. Set your goals exactly to this, because becoming a celebrity chef is not that easy. It requires a lot of courage to become a celebrity chef. See, you should be having a lot of patience. You should be able to take a lot of criticism. And you should have immense knowledge in cooking. You should be able to solve all the doubts. You need to put yourself into the public eyes locally, and then branch out more populated areas and make your name for yourself. If you do this, then you will become a popular chef. For this, again, as I told you, you should have your basic knowledge, have a strong foundation, have a very good communication skills. Beauty, I put beauty, but it may not be a major requirement as well. It is not that you should be really beauty, but that is an added advantage. Why do we look at why do they take beautiful people in movie? It's because people would like to watch. So like that, it's an added advantage, but it is not a compulsory or it is not mandatory. So beauty is a part of our body itself. So everyone is beauty. So you can definitely be a celebrity chef, but if you have a passion and if you're really aiming to become a celebrity chef, okay. A celebrity chef, for this you require only the bachelor's in hotel management or culinary science, which is without this also you can become a celebrity chef. But if you have this, it becomes really gives you an immense advantage, because you learn a lot of cuisines. You come to know a lot of cuisines, because someone doing a village cooking cannot become a big celebrity chef. Okay. So a person who has done culinary arts, who is coupled with communication skills, who is ready to stand in front of the media, who is ready to take criticism, who is in the public eyes, can always become a celebrity. And the kind of endorsement what you get, it's in social media, you get job, in TV channels, in print media, brand endorsement. The brand endorsement is something which gives a lot of money. Once you become a celebrity, then definitely you can endorse a lot of brands. They call you for endorsing, like the advertisements, they call you to endorse. So this is one great advantage when you become a celebrity chef. To become a celebrity chef is what takes a lot of time. You need to really be focused and you need to work on this. And a lot of people think to become a celebrity chef, but unfortunately, during a point of time, they feel that, okay, maybe this may not work out. Definitely, you have a lot of other options. It's not that, but everyone can start their own YouTube channel and try to become a celebrity chef. There's nothing wrong. Okay. And of course, the TV channels and the social medias, once they see your videos and if they really like it, and definitely they will invite you for shows. But be focused and try to learn as much as possible in this culinary, because the different cuisines you learn will be an added advantage for a celebrity chef. Yeah. Okay, the next one is culinary tour guide. Well, this is something which you might be thinking, what is this culinary tour guide? Yes, it is going to be, once the industry is back, after this pandemic, this is again a profession which is already, it's existing. It's not that it's not there. This is a profession where the skill required for this is a tour guide is a public speaking, communication skill. You should be friend and ready to travel. These are the inherent skills, whichever in any one of this, if you possess, you can always try to become a culinary tour guide, coupling with your culinary arts. In this, you need to learn specialty cuisines and a tourism. If you are able to do a small course in tourism and do specialty cuisines is something which you need to learn on your own. You can browse and learn on your own. You need to, for example, you're taking a team of people to Cairo. You need to know what is Egyptian food and what is the specialty of Cairo, that especially in the Cairo, what is the particular specialty? Or you take off India, you go to Delhi, you go to Taj Mahal. So what is the past, what is the present, and what is available over there? What is the specialty food sold over there? So this all you should be able to take them to in a specialty restaurant. You should be able to guide them. The culinary tour has to be taken through. You need to make them eat certain food, which is the local specialities. So for this, you need to learn all the specialty cuisines, the local cuisine, and the place where you're going to travel. And if you're a person who's very interested in travel, this is an odd profession, and definitely it has been taken up by many chefs now. Even I have done a couple of times. See this photograph which is showing over here. See, this is a photograph of us when we went, we chef fraternity from Sika, when we went to Switzerland. The lady who's standing out there, she is a chef, but she is more like a culinary tour guide, because she taught us and she guided us what is the local delicacy, what you should have, what you should try. So this is all, and apart from this, she had immense knowledge. We never knew there was something called an Alps horn. These are all the knowledges, because she's from Switzerland, from Alps mountain. She brought even the horn, Alps horn, she showed us, she made us blow that. So this is an added advantage which she did for us. And these all are the local things what she had learned. And apart from this, she knows all the local cuisine. So she takes us through the culinary tour, and she's been well paid for this. So this is a very good profession which is going to carry, which not many of us know. So this can be done only when you have the knowledge of the local area or the place where you're going to travel with the people. And if you learn a little bit of tourism, and you should be able to communicate and be friendly and good at public speaking. So if you know, and culinary arts is the basic thing which you should have for this, then it becomes very, very easy for you to become a culinary tour guide. And the scope of job you get is in travel companies, cruise liners, TV channels, print media, and of course in freelancing as well. You can do this job freelancing also. Okay. So the next one what I will take you is culinary trendologist. This is something very, very interesting, especially the upcoming, the budding chefs who cannot work in the hotel industry for a long hours, or they don't want to work in a hotel, but they're good at certain things. They're good at communication, analyzing, blogging. They're well versed in social media. Then this becomes a very good profession, because you already have a culinary skill. If you can have this culinary skill and learn a little bit about fashion trends and a little bit about photography. This is fashion trend is something. See, when you're able to have an fashion for your clothing, why not for food? So this is the trend what you need to bring it out. Like you go to a city like Milan, it's a fashion industry. There you go. The fashion starts from Milan. So like that, there in France you go, there are a lot of things which is culinary based. The fashion starts from culinary for them. So like this, there are so many fashion trends which is available. But this culinary fashion trend is becoming a highlight these days, because fashion always go with your eating habits as well. So this fashion trend is coming up in culinary, and a culinary trendologist is a person who brings out all this. So his job is, his job is mainly to analyze the trend which is going on in the current scenario in the market and roll it out as per that. He helps in taking up even franchises of some of the branches. Some big branches who want to take. For example, there's a company, there's a hotel which wants to spread their wing. They want to go for something which is of a latest trend which is going on. Then they call for this culinary trendologist. And they discuss with him what is the current trend, what is going into this market, the present scenario, what is the trend which is going on. Or this profession, I have made it as a culinary trendologist and restaurant publicist. So this both coupled together you can do it, because the trendologist finds the trend what is going in the market, and he advises on this is the trend what is going on. So you can make the menu like this. You can write your menus like this. You can give this kind of food. So like that he analyzes and tells us. And a restaurant publicist, the same, he also does the same thing. He advises, maybe he's connected with some tour company or somewhere where he publishes the restaurant, telling that, okay, this is the trend what this restaurant is giving. So his job is coupled. This both are coupled together. Trendologists and publicists, nothing but both coupled together. Because they can write in print media, they can work in TV channels, they can write in social media, they can even, hotel and restaurants, because as I told you, hotel and restaurants wants this culinary trendologist or a publicist. And this is one thing, when you start a hotel, maybe in India or abroad or anywhere, when you start a hotel or a restaurant, we always take advice. And there are now chef trendologists and publicists who are available in the market who will tell you this is what is advisable for you to do in this particular place. Or when you go for a culinary tour, for a tour, he will also advise you, okay, these are the restaurants which is available over there, go and try the food over. So this has become into a profession by itself. And it is quite well highly paid. It is very highly paid. And when you couple this profession as a blogger as well, you get even more publicity, and you really, people start following you, and it's a well-paid job. It's a very well-paid job. Okay, now going to the next one. This is something very interesting. I don't know how many of you have known this one, culinary librarian. This is a very, very interesting job, which I myself came to know very, very recently. When I was traveling abroad, I happened to visit one of the colleges, and in the college, they just took me around the college, and they took me to a library. And in the library, the librarian was sitting with a chef cook, and it is a catering institute. It is a catering institute, only for specialization in culinary arts. And I was surprised. I checked, he's a librarian sitting with a chef cook. Then I came to know that he is a chef by profession and a librarian. He has an immense knowledge of the culinary books. You name the cuisine, he'll tell you in this rack, this is available. And the same, he's an intelligent person. He's more like a computer where he knows everything. What you ask a doubt, okay, how do I do a dish? He's ready to explain. In India, where this dish is available, he'll tell which place. So, and he has enough books, and he helps the students to study through these books. And he's a chef librarian. But now the profession has even got a little bit modernized. A chef who is not able to work 20, or some people who are really bookworms, they have a love for book and cooking. They take up this profession where they learn too much. They're bookworms, basically bookworms. I'm very interested in culinary, and they help in training the PhD students as well. They help a lot in bringing up the the culinary arts students. But they use artificial intelligence. Some people are by birth, they are so brain dead. Like the chef whom I met, he was like, I asked for a cuisine. He's telling, okay, in this rack, this is where the book is available. The same thing can be done with a computer as well. Now the same. Then I asked him, like, how many colleges of this has it? It's a big institution. And they're like every institute in the particular country has this kind of job. The chef librarian is available, and not all will be like this chef. But the chef was too brilliant. but they take the help of artificial intelligence. They use computers, and they'll just tell you, where what is. And in case you want to know about, elaborate about that particular cuisine, they will sit with you and they explain you the entire thing. This is how this evolved. This is how the past was. This is how the present is, and this is how the future is. And they're able to tell everything about this. So this librarian profession as a chef is again catching up. Mostly mostly the catering industry, catering institutions, and big libraries. They're all having this kind of profession for chefs. So this is something which I felt was very, very interesting. So with this, I think I have almost taken you through the whatever available profession in this industry, where normally we always think that only working in hotel, restaurant, and that the regular convention method of culinary job we were thinking. So these are all the options which I could show you, and which I thought I should share with all of you. So hope this was useful for you.
Yeah, it was very useful. I was just listening to your whole session. We can open the session for the students.
Yes.
If any students have any clarification, they can put it in the chat box, because in Q&A, there is a thing known as Q&A. You can put your what we call questions or any clarifications required in Q&A.
How can you prepare for a trade test in production? Well, trade test in production is all about, what is the cuisine you're interested in. Because most of the hotels, when you go for a trade test, the first thing they'll ask is, what is the best you know? As a chef, a professional chef, first they ask us, what is that you would like to do in your trade test? Of course, it should be a course of menú. Whenever you give for a trade test, you go for a starter, soup, main course, okay, and you can give, in the main course, you can give a veg and non-veg, and you can go for a test. Or this is for all the people who are just going to start the career. Okay, once you're experienced and specialized in that particular cuisine, then the entire thing changes. But for a basic trade test, these are the things which you should be aware of. And practice at home, practice at college before going for the trade test. And if you're going for a particular restaurant, a specialty restaurant, for example, you want to go to an hotel where you're going to give a trade test for the particular restaurant. If it is a Mexican restaurant, then obviously you need to know only that Mexican cuisine. But whichever cuisine you're giving, give one full course. That's a 5 course you give in one particular. Don't mix up the cuisines. Do not mix up the cuisine and give, unless and otherwise it's a fusion restaurant or a fusion hotel. Okay, so try to plan this 5 of a particular cuisine. Practice and be bold and have a knowledge, the quantity, the portion knowledge you should be aware of. Timing is one thing which is very, very key. Within the time you should be, and the basic hygiene of your workplace is very, very important. If that is not there, you will not be taken in. So the hygiene is very, very important. Your personal hygiene as well as the workstation hygiene is very, very important. And apart from this, the way you present your food also matters a lot, and of course the taste that comes without that. Okay, FSSAI course. Someone has asked about the FSSAI course. Okay, this Food Safety Authority, if you go into their website, okay, FASSI, if you go into the website, see, they have started the online courses, and this is the right time for you to do, because this particular courses so far was given only through some third-party agencies. They used to call the FOSTAC. This is a see, the FSSAI have given outsourced companies in every district and called it as a FOSTAC, where they will come and you will have to go and train there, or they will come and train to your place. So where there is 25 people working in the kitchen, there should be one certified person. This was the rules. But now after this pandemic, definitely everyone should possess this certificate. And for this, you go to the website. If you go to the website, you will find the trainings. In the trainings, if you go, I think every month they upload the trainings, what they're going to do. And there are a lot of third party also doing these courses. But if you go to the website, they will be showing you where you can do this courses, and it's an online course. It is not every day. See, this will be for 3 days, 4 days, 1 hour, 2 hour, like that. So after that, they'll have a small exam and you get certificate. Okay, so that you can try. You should go to the FSSAI website. Okay, and you get a government certificate, and the certificate is an online certificate. So don't expect it to come through in hard copy. It is an online certification which you can take a color printout and you can keep it for you. Okay. Okay, how would you get a job in cruise line? Okay, to get a job in a cruise line, uh, you should, as I told you now, you should learn all this hygiene. You should have an additional advantage of hygiene, and you need to do a additional course. There is something called, this cruise line courses. Cruise line courses means where you need to do firefighting, you need to do the personal hygiene, you need to do first aid. There is a 5 course which is given by many what do you call this shipping companies also give. There is one college in Chennai called Amit. They also give. It is a 14-day course in which they give you 5 certificates for food safety, for fire safety, for hygiene, personal survival skills, then first aid. So they'll train you all this, and it is, I think, 14 days, or now I think they made it somewhere around 18 days, I guess. So you can do this course. Once you do this course, then you need to apply directly to the cruise line companies, because advertisements do come. But mostly, it has been taken through certain companies. Like if you want to join in Carnival, there is a agency which is in Chennai, which is directly appointed by the Carnival. MSC Shipping is there, having their own in Bombay, in Chennai also there. But you should be regularly watching the, subscribe for something of this maritime news or this cruise line job news. You'll be getting the updates. So you need to do that course. It is only a 14-day course, and it's a certification course which you require to join the cruise line. Okay. Yes, bakery and confectionery. Yeah, it's quite interesting. In a bakery and confectionery, if you want to specialize in bakery and confectionery, just concentrate on that. Okay, go for only bakery and confectionery, where again you can do the certification courses, and of course the hygiene certification is even more mandatory for this bakery and confectionery. Always try to learn the upcoming trends in this bakery and confectionery, because, for example, now most of these stuffs are done with maida in India. Another 1 year, you may not see maida that much, because maida and trans fat may be erased off. So learn the trends which is going to come in bakery and confectionery. If you learn that, then definitely you can give a trade test as per the future trend. Presently itself you can give. Okay, and there is a lot of skills you require to become in bakery and confectionery. You should have a lot of patience. The skill what you develop in bakery and confectionery, it is not necessary that you need to go and work only in 5-star hotel. There are many individual bakeries and confectioneries where you can go with them, learn. Of course, it will be some may not pay. You need to take your own interest in going and learning. That's what we and all did. So learning this bakery and confectionery, again, it is the same, like, see, because once you're specialized in bakery and confectionery, there is a separate profile for you in the hotel industry called the pastry chef. He is very highly paid person, a very highly paid chef, and he has immense skill. So this is one thing which you can always try to learn, okay, if you're interested. Well, this is a very interesting question, Chef. What about the exposure of South Indian cuisine and dishes in West? Is there a future for South Indian cuisine if you want to work about the cuisine future? Very nice question, gentlemen. The world is looking at us, India. Yeah, you have heard of this Ayush food, Ayur food. You have heard of it? So this is something which is more related with our Indian origin food and more of a South Indian based food, because South Indian food has a immense scope abroad. People who have started South Indian restaurants have really been successful abroad, and it gives very good value, because one of the best snacks throughout the world is now becoming dosa, and most healthy food is becoming idli. So, and South India has one of the best breakfasts. It has varieties of breakfast, So you can always concentrate on South Indian. It's not, you may not feel that being in South India, why should we learn South Indian cuisine? You should never think that it has an immense opportunity in abroad and north. So don't miss that. If you want to become a South Indian chef, I tell you, you will rock. Okay. And yeah, definitely. See, as a born Indian or a born South Indian, we have a motherly taste. So no matter how successful you are, a Western food is Western food, which however we make it, there will be a lot of difference. Different in the sense, I work with a lot of foreign chef. I work with French chef. I work with German chef. I can equally make with them, but still, when a Western person makes a food of that, and I make a food, the person eating will always prefer the person who's made from the Western food, no matter it is not better as what I did, because that's a mindset. And same is the case with South Indian food. You being a South Indian, you make a South Indian food in North India or anywhere in abroad, your food will be valued a lot. You being a South Indian, there's always a value action. So if you want to be a South Indian chef, rock it, take it out. So what about the future of our industry? And how did this COVID affect our industry? See, this is something which is, there's no words to say. Of course, it has affected a lot. A simple example is I do run industry, a restaurant as well. The kind of situation what we are going through is very difficult because it's seen by every one of us. There's no tourism. There is no tourism. There's no people traveling. People are staying home to the restaurant. No matter how hygienic we keep, whatever we do, the projects, everything is getting closed down. It is really a matter of fear with people. But I am 100% sure this will again drop. It is a matter of time. Maybe 1 year or 1.5 years, but it will rock. The industry will rock very soon because see, this kind of pandemics have come and gone in the lifetime. Our ancestors have seen, our forefathers have seen, this kind of things comes and goes. But we people cannot be without eating food. Every 3.5 hours once, other than the night, we want something to eat and drink. Can we be without that? We cannot. So definitely this industry will never ever die. This will rock again. Definitely rock again. Only thing is, it's a matter of time. Maybe a year or a year and a half. We will rock again. It is going to really do it. Yeah. Can we go for an executive chef question with how many experience are? Yeah. See, this is what. I become an executive chef at the age of 29. There are chefs who have become executive chefs even during the 24th year, 24 years, 25 years. But it all depends upon so many situations. See, becoming an executive chef in a 5-star hotel is different. Becoming an executive chef in a restaurant is different. Becoming an executive chef in a cruise line is different. So these all are the level, the kind of industry. That is one thing. The next thing is, you want to become an executive chef in a 5-star hotel. The basic thing of becoming a 5-star hotel chef, you need to have immense knowledge. You should be having managerial skills. You should be able to have good communication skills. You should be able to have good knowledge of the food. You should be able to have lot of knowledge of various cuisines. We should know to handle people. This people management is one thing very, very important, coupled with financial management. Unless in other ways you know all these things, don't straight away become an executive chef. It will be a trouble. So to learn all this, how many years it's going to take, how you put your input, how you have the passion to learn all this, how you set your basic foundation, and once you become confident in all this, then you take up the position of executive chef. I got executive chef position even when the 29th year I was an executive chef. I got this position even before that, but I didn't take it intentionally just because I was not confident. I thought I should learn little more to take up the position in a 5-star hotel. But I learned. It's all up to you. Put in your hard and smart work. Don't just be a hard worker. I don't need people who are really hard workers. I want only smart workers. Be smart. execute your things very smartly. Analyze yourself. Every once in 3 months, you analyze yourself and say, okay, this is my negatives, this is my positives. How do I convert all my negatives into positives? Put it in that way. Upgrade yourself. Every 3 once in 3 months, upgrade yourself. This mistake I did last 3 months, henceforth I want to. So correct it and take it forward like that. And as I told you, becoming an executive chef, there is no anything year bound. You can anytime you can become an executive chef. If you want to become an executive chef at a one-star hotel, you don't require so much of experience. You can become. The position is executive chef, but it depends upon the place, the organization also. And if you go into a good organization, the experience and the talent and all this, people management, financial management, then food costing, then all the cuisine knowledge. Unless you learn all this, please don't take a position. Okay. I am a BCom student, and how can I get into the world of food? I like cooking Indian cuisine, especially in vegetarian way, and like a food blogger. Of course, I have shown you the options, gentlemen. I have shown you can become a food blogger. See, you can become a writer. See, you're a BCom student and want to become you're so interested in cooking, means, and especially vegetarian. I'm telling you, this is going to be the future demand. Vegetarian veganism is picking up like anything. So you can always try to learn from some professionals, or you can do a small course to know the basics of what is cooking, what is how the hospitality industry works, what are the different kinds of cuisine. And in vegetarian, it is not just only with the Indian cuisine. You can couple up this with various other cuisines. Learning Indian vegetarian cuisine is very good, because India is a country where every 30 kilometers the taste of food keeps different. The same you make a dal over here, in another 30 kilometers you go, the same dal will be in a different way. And so there is so much to learn in Indian vegetarian cuisine. So if you're really interested, please take it up. Please take it up. Try to learn and be a good food blogger. Go to various restaurants, review them, give feedback to them, speak to the chef, speak to the FN manager, and try to become a blogger. Once you become a blogger, start your own channel. Go ahead. You can rock. Well, why hygiene practices are not strictly implemented by FSSAI? Gentlemen, we learn from our mistakes. So that's how the FSSAI is also. So far, they haven't been. See, it's not that FSSAI has not implemented anything of this kind of practice in the hotel industry. See, the FSSAI, I think 4 years before itself, they've rolled out the entire guidelines of food safety. Only thing was, it was not the hoteliers or the food analysts didn't take that much of interest in learning all these things, but the guidelines was already there. You go to the FSSAI website, all guidelines are there. Only additional guideline which has come now is the COVID guidelines, which is having all the social distancing and those things. Otherwise, wearing a hat or a gloves or maintaining the temperature or using a different country, everything was already there in the guidelines. Only thing, they were in a very budding stage, FSSAI. But now they've started taking enough people, and after this pandemic, I am sure they're going to be very, very strict in implementing. They straight away cancel the license of hotels. So they will definitely implement, but they've already rolled out everything long ago. It is many years before all these guidelines were there, but we were not following it. Now, after this issue has come up of COVID, now only we are realizing we didn't follow. Yeah, menu planning. Yeah, menu planning. For the menu planning, you need to know many things, gentlemen. See, you need to know how to do the costing. You need to know the availability of ingredients. Okay, and what kind of specialty it is, whether you're going to do for a South Indian or a North Indian or a specialty restaurant, this kind of things you need to know. You should do a menu engineering and see like the local availability. You should take an idea of the local demography. Okay, in this demography, what is the specialty? So do I need to do a menu as per the demography or as per the cuisine what someone is telling, or whether I can come out with my own cuisine. These are all things you should have coupled up with your costing, food costing and availability of ingredients, because end of the day, profit matters. So you should be able to do a menu engineering with the profit percentage. The costing has to be worked out for each and every item what you're putting, and the availability. So as per that, you need to do a menu engineering and take out the profit percentage, you need to work out the food costing. So this all has to be planned for the menu. Okay, and apart from this, in the menu planning, the design also comes into this. How you plan the menu, how evenly you put it, how attractive you put, and how aesthetic and how good it's going to be. But henceforth, when you plan a menu after this COVID, I think it's more the manual ones are going to go. The hard copies may not be seen henceforth. So it will be more of a digitalized menu. So when you're planning for something, you should also have the knowledge of computer to work on, and the apps or whatever gadgets what you're using. This also will come into the menu planning. This is going to be the future of menu planning. Okay, coupled up with, because AI will help you, artificial intelligence will help you a lot in menu planning, because once the formula is made and fed in your system, you get the food cost, right? So, but you need to do a market analysis before that, find out what is the rate of whatever it is, and then you feed a recipe. The recipe, once you make the recipe, then you find out the costing of the recipe and what is the profit percentage what you get. Then as per that, you do your food trials and do the plate presentation, and with the plate presentation, you do a service specification. So this is all you need to make it in a sequence. With addition to that, you need to implement this through a gadget or through a digital media. This manual paper method is going to go off in future. Okay. Yes, Mr. Jonathan. Jonathan has. It's nice to see his question. Hope you're doing well. But my question: how important is the communication skills for a chef apart from his culinary skills? That students think it's not important as they are just inside the kitchen. Well, fantastic question, Jonathan. See, communication skill is very, very basics. A person who cannot communicate, he can never be successful. It can be of any method. The best way of communication is body language. It doesn't mean that a person who cannot read or write or cannot see, he cannot communicate. He also communicates. 80% of the communication is communicated through body language. But as a chef, you need to have this body language, the communication, as well as the oral communication and the written communication, which is again with the computer knowledge. So a chef who really, people were thinking that chefs are all behind the scene. No more. The chef is the backbone and the frontline person in the hotel industry henceforth. If I want to order a food in a restaurant, more than calling an waiter or a captain, I would prefer to see a chef before I order the food, because the future, he is the person who can give me guarantee for the food what I eat. So he'll be telling, okay, this is what I do, this is how it is being made, and this is how the nutrition values, all this. For this, a chef should learn the basic communications, and especially the common language, English, which you please learn. Without the English, you think that, okay, I can somehow succeed. It's not really possible. Your body language, of course, definitely will help you a lot. That is for a good picture. Like a person standing in the lobby is leaning in a table, he is not communicating. By seeing his body language itself, we come to know he's a lazy person. If he's standing erect with a smiling face, we come to know he's a smart guy. That's how it is. But this, for a chef, has to be in the form of a oral communication and action as well. So to communicate, because this is all, the chef's communication is more towards the sense, okay, taste sense. Okay, so we need to communicate the taste sense through our mouth. So we have to definitely speak out, and for this, English is the only option, or you can learn Hindi also. Of course, you want to learn any other language, it's an added advantage, but communication skill is very, very important for a chef, because he is no more going to be behind the scene. He is going to be the frontline person. And even before this pandemic, chefs were put in live station. If a guest is coming and asking you a question, how this is made, if you're not able to communicate, then you spoil your name and the hotel's name as well. So this communication is very, I do my people, and I put my staffs, a person who doesn't have a proper communication, I will put him with a person who really communicates well. I will send both of them to go and talk to a guest, and they have to take a feedback from the guest. And that's how the communication skill, first thing is take off all your barriers. Take out all your communication barriers. Don't think that, okay, I cannot do. Okay, you just find out what is your barrier for your communication. It could be your tone, it could be your language, or it could be your writing skills or whatever. Just find out what are the barriers. Write on all the barriers and try to work on that barriers. Automatically, you will become a good communicator. See, if you want, you can even speak in front of mirror. Try to act and speak, and you find out, okay, this is what maybe your pronunciations might be wrong. Try to correct your pronunciations. But unless and otherwise you correct your barrier. See, now here in the question itself, it is there is a barrier because it is an assumption that, see, Mr. Jonathan, as students think it's not important as they are just inside the kitchen. Who told you all are inside the kitchen? You will be put in frontline henceforth. Even before this pandemic came, the budding chefs, who used to work in the hotels, they were put in live stations. We have a party. I have done, this is, functions where we used to do only live stations. There will be 20, 30 live stations. Each live stations will have 2 people, and there will be the industrial exposure students. We used to take them. We'll put them in live stations with a senior person. So even for us 2 minutes, if the main chef goes inside for taking something, that is the time when the budding chef is standing over. If a guest is coming and asking, you should be able to communicate. So never ever think that you are going to be behind the kitchen. No way. Those days are gone. And now the kitchens are going to be more of a see-through kitchen where guests will see what you're doing inside. They will request. They may call and they'll speak to you. They might not. They will call and speak, and you're going to be the frontline person. So always try to learn this communication skill and don't take it easy. Most of our Indians have this barrier, and especially when it comes to our south in certain areas, we have this barrier. I cannot, why should I? Because my communication is not good. That's why I'm joining in hotel management. I've seen people telling me that. And people who have joined hotel management want to take only kitchen because they think that I don't require communication skills. It's not the way it is. You need to learn. It's an added advantage. And you want to become an executive chef, if you don't have a communication skill, you can never become. They'll put you down. So for this, the basic thing what you need to do is find out what is the barrier. Why I'm not able to communicate? What is the barrier which is affecting me in communicating? Work on that. There are online classes. Learn. Read newspapers. Read English newspapers. Find out new words. That's how we can develop your communication skills. Talk to yourself. Talk to always a person. See, now, usually in the college and school, this is one big barrier. You try to communicate only in your local language. I think the colleges also have to make it strict that at least during certain classes, the communication has to be only through the right medium. That is English or whatever. If you want to communicate in Hindi or in Germany or whatever, this particular has to be, but English is the common language what we use, so it's better to communicate in English. Okay, so it has to be a little mandate also from the college side. How to improve my knowledge in catering? Gentlemen, that is all up to you. How you take the interest in learning things. You learn different cuisines. You learn a lot of hygiene practice. You will see now everything is easily available. Go to YouTube. You see a lot of cookery shows. You see, you subscribe for some channels. Learn from that. You buy books. The amount of money what you spend on your mobile and your other activities, spend a little bit money for buying these books on culinary, various cuisine books. That's how I used to do. I used to buy various culinary books, different cuisines, and I used to practice. Practice will make you perfect. So once you buy this, learn this. When you're free, once a while, at home, buy in smaller quantity. Try it and see, and that's how you can develop your skills. Okay? Try to do that. Spend money on your knowledge also. Just don't spend only on your mobile and other things. Yeah? Spend money for your career, future career as well. How to presenting a good plating chef? A good plating, okay, how to do it? Yeah, presentation, see, I'll put in one small word. A presentation, I eat through eyes. it's a little tricky thing. I see it is so appealing that I feel like eating. So that's how a presentation has to be. In the presentation, you should know what are the elements. Okay, the nutrition elements like starch, carbohydrates, then the vegetables. This is all a mix of this, a colorful mix with the right proportion. You should, because most of the people when they're doing a plate presentation, they think if you put too much and too many combinations, it becomes nice. It's not like that. Do the exact one. How much quantity is required for the presentation? If it's a main course, what is the grammage? If it's a starter, how much grammage? Either how much has to be there, put only that, and do a colorful presentation. There's various presentations, you know. You have elevation presentation, you have pyramid presentation, you have a flat presentation, you have just dusting presentations. So like this, many things are there. Try to learn this different kinds of presentations. Okay, even I think I did one during my practical session for you. Once I did a presentation of that sort. I did a different kind of plating and show. Okay, try to learn different kinds of plating. You go to YouTube, you will find different kinds of plating. To get training in kitchen, what is your solution? It's very easy, gentlemen. You approach, you know, through your college, you get a bona fide certificate. You go to, you know, if you know someone, you can approach to them, or you go to the hotels or wherever you want to get trained. You apply through them. You know, now, you know, after this pandemic is over, definitely people will require a lot of training. So getting a training is not that easy. But you should, before you go, have a basic preparation. You know, like preparation in the sense, you prepare yourself. You should not get scared. No one is going to kill you when you go for an interview. Directly, you can go and approach in the hotels, but take a bona fide certificate from the school, from the college, and then go to the hotel. Or if you have a department which is just for this training and counseling, you know, they might help you. So try on getting a training in hotels is not that difficult at all. Easily you will get it. Everyone requires training, so they'll be taken. If someone has written, I should, my name is Sanu. You might doubt, I'm not able to understand this. Okay, oh, is it clear my doubt about cruise ship? I think about cruise already I mentioned. You know, you need to learn certain. It is the course what I told the 5 course. It is called as SCTW or something. It's something related like STC course or something like that. Okay, that 5 course, that firefighting, safety, personal hygiene, and first aid. These are all the course which you need to do. Then after this, then you go with the certificate. When the opening comes, you go and attend the interview. In the interview you get through, then you know, they'll take and they train you and they go. But you should be a little bit physically fit as well and learn your communication. Without communication, it's very difficult. Okay, have good communication and try to do this STCW course. Okay, it's called STCW course. It's in Coimbatore, I'm not sure who's doing it, but in other places, wherever the port is there, definitely there will be colleges. The Indian Maritime Institute does it. In Chennai, Amit is doing. Then there are other, you know, people who are related with this nautical science and shipping companies. You know, they are out there. Yeah. Learn that course first. Okay, what is the cruise line chef and the 5-star hotel chef? Okay. Okay, cruise line, this is also an interesting question. A cruise line chef, see, basically he works in the cruise line where he has a fixed menu. Okay, there are now different kinds of ships, but otherwise the common thing of a cruise line chef is there will be a fixed menu and there will be a number of passengers who are traveling. So this will be a routine. If there's a 3-day cruise or a 7-day cruise, this 3-day course, there will be a set of menu for breakfast, lunch, dinner. The next day they will be having a different set of menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like that, it will be for 3 days. Once the 3 days cruising is complete, this guest will go off, and there will be a new batch of guests coming in. And the same menu what you did for the last guest, the same thing will be done for this guest also. So the menu will be repeated and again and again. If he's working for 6 months, all 6 months he'll be seeing the similar kind of menu. And there will be, of course, certain specialty restaurants also inside, where again they'll be having a fixed. And when it comes to a 5-star hotel chef, a 5-star hotel chef handles banqueting, he handles specialty restaurant, he handles breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the menu keeps changing for him, because when you do a banqueting function, every time the menu keeps changing, and you may have to do a lot of food festivals and all this thing. But in cruise lines, it's very rarely food festivals are done. Only during the Christmas, New Year, only these are the time when they do something very big. Otherwise, it will be a fixed menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which will be available throughout the cruise. If it's a 3-day cruise, it will be available the same menu. If it is a 7-day cruise, for 7 days, they'll be having a different set of 7 days menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which will be repeated again the next 7 days, because they'll be having a new set of. But in 5-star hotel, we get every time different people, and we do different kind of cuisines. We do food festivals. So it is good to learn in a 5-star hotel, then go to a cruise, because you will get to learn a lot of things in a 5-star hotel. In cruise line, you will get to learn only a specific kind of cuisine or a cuisine. Like I worked in cruise line. I was with Vienna Cruises. I was a chef saucier. So I got to do only sauces, gallons and gallons of sauces, because it's a huge 3,000 passenger ship. So my job was to do only sauces. I did only for 6 months. But now it's changed. And again, keep in mind, if you want to join in a cruise line, don't be in a rush to join immediately after your hotel management, because you may not learn that much when you directly go and join in the cruise line. Be in the hotel industry, learn a little bit, make a good foundation for yourself, then go to a cruise line job. If you go before that, the level of knowledge what you get in cruise line is a little bit lesser, because you'll be doing only a particular kind of job. So you don't get much chance to learn. So that's why most of the chefs who are working in cruise line would have worked already in a hotel and gained enough experience, they would have gone as a chef. But as a budding guy, also make a good strong foundation working for 5-star hotel. Then you go to a cruise line. Then it becomes easy. Because a person who's coming, who immediately after hotel management, who joins a cruise line, will find it very difficult to work in a 5-star hotel, because he may not be able to cope up, because there's a lot of ready-made stuff which is used in cruise line these days. Even when I was working, we never had so much. We had to make everything, but in huge quantity, but only that particular. I was in 2 sessions. When I was a chef saucier, and I was in grills. When I was in grills, I did only grills. When I was in a chef saucier, I did only varieties of sauce. That's it. That was my job, continuously. Okay, so these are the major differences. But you are well paid in cruise line, that you keep in mind, okay? Well, gentlemen, this is a good question. See, it's not that Indian chefs are not popular. I don't know whether you have heard of Chutney Mary, Dosa Town, Bombay Grills. They're all some of the famous outlets in abroad, in UK, US, everywhere. It's very, very famous. See, just because we feel that okay, Indian food is not spreading that much. Indian food is very popular abroad, very, very popular. Only thing is, the cost of operating there as an Indian food becomes more when an Indian goes and starts. So we'll have to depend upon someone to invest for us in abroad and bring it up. This was the major thing. Otherwise, Indian food is very good. You take up Chef Gagan Anand, he rocks. He has modernized. He has developed Molly. In fact, in Singapore and Malaysia, I have helped someone to do this Indian modernist. I call the progressive cuisine, Indian progressive cuisine. It is a molecular gastronomy coupled with Indian cuisine, and it's doing pretty good. When Chef Gagan Anand did that, it was quite good. So it was running very good. It all depends upon how we take it up. But otherwise, Indian food is very, very popular abroad. Only thing is, in Indian food, what has happened is, as I told you before, see, French or other cuisine has something like a gastronomic. There's a book called Gastronomic. There is a Bible and recipe, like classic recipes are already documented. For example, if you take of mother sauces, it is a documented classical sauce. So this is how the quantity has to be. If it is a tomato sauce or if it is a bechamel, this is what we need to put. This is the quantity. It is already done by Escoffier and all the French chefs and already documented. In Indian cuisine, this is one thing our ancestors have missed. They have not documented. And even if it is documented, it is variants. Because we were with various different we are, as I told you, we have so many states, different linguistics, all of different languages. Every 30 kilometers, you'll find the difference in the same cuisine. You have a Chettinad chicken in Coimbatore and you have the same Chettinad chicken in Erode, you'll find it different. So that's how India is a vast country with different various heritage and different languages and culture. So people have missed to document, our forefathers have missed to document some of the important. Other than the Ayush and certain foods, the Ayurvedic food, the other things have not been really documented. So when the document is not there, so we adopted that, we found it out and we started doing from that. But the Mughlai chicken, what is done in north is not done in south. So it varies. The documentation was one of the things. So maybe because of that, we all feel that, okay, Indian food has not got modernized. But it is really popular, I'm telling you. In abroad, it is really good. Indian food has a big market. Has a very big market. Yeah, excellent question. What is the opportunity for girls as a chef? You have lots of opportunity. The girls, as I told you, the mother are one of the best people to give food, right? They know at what time, what to do. They also girl. See, when they were able to give such lovely food and such tasty food, hygienically, and they know when to give what, how to give you, fall sick, they know what to give you. It was all treated with medicine. The mother was the best person who is student. She is also a girl. But this industry finds this as a lack. Now, girls are not able to come up as a chef because they don't participate in that way. But at present, things are different. We see a lot of girls in the industry whom we encourage. In fact, there were certain hotels have a policy that they should have at least 30% of lady staff. And even in kitchen, I used to take a lot of lady staff. We have trained, and those people most of them are gone abroad. They go abroad, they get settled. So it is up to the interest of the lady to take it in the sense and make them. They should not feel that they left out, because what happens is the hotel industry, it is mostly dominated by male. Very few ladies join here because that could be because of the shift timings, long hours of work and all this. But this is all changing. You can see a lot of girls who take this industry and who want to work because ladies are very, very creative and very creative. So that is how they go into bakery and confectionery. They do a lot of chocolate. You can see one of the best. I can give many examples. Lady chefs who have flourished in this confectionery area, and especially in chocolate. Many girls. So feel that, okay, you need not work in the heat and you need not be work in the long hours, or you find it difficult. You can work in an AC environment, take up confectionery. Otherwise, you want to become a hardcore chef. You want to be. I worked under a lady. She's a Canadian lady chef. She was an executive chef. She knows in and out. She was a very hardcore. No, but Indian girls, they have not really taking up in that way. They're a little bit scared. I think they need to come out of that box. Think out of the box. You need to break out that fear and you can definitely become a chef. But in our present scenario, the hotel industry, the lady chefs mostly prefer to work in confection because they're very creative, or they work in garment. So these two departments is a very in a creative place for ladies too. It's not that other cuisines doesn't allow that. It all depends upon the person, how you take it. Okay. I think cruise line job already I've explained, gentlemen. Already I've explained. You do the STCW course. Okay, have your basic communication skills right. Then you try for the job. Today, I might skip few questions because if it's a repeated question, I might skip. So don't mistake me if I'm not told. You have my number with you. You can always call and I can answer you later. I will take a lot of time.
I think, Chef, you have, I think, taken a lot of time to answer a lot of questions. As you have said, your mobile number is there. The students can always contact you. It was great having you, Chef, to
thank you so much.
From the industry, from the hotel industry. I'm still going back to my old days when I used to work. Of course, I still miss those things. That was a wonderful experience I had in the hotel industry for nearly 10 years, where you were really working on the range and you can really come out with a lot of innovative ideas. When I used to work in Saudi Arabia, way back around, say, in 20 years back. I still remember 20 years back itself, we used to have what you call an open kitchen. And it was a tremendous experience I had, where you could learn a lot of Arabic cuisine also. So hotel industry is one area where you should have a lot of passion. I could see a lot of questions, children asking. It's all, I would just like to say to our students is that, you keep working, keep learning. You have to have love, you have to have passion towards the work you do. There is no time constraint in this industry. So even when you are at home, it's not necessary that you should come to the college. When I used to learn catering and hotel management way back around 25, 26 years back, I used to cook every Sunday at home. I used to tell my mother that today's lunch is going to be done by me. And whatever I used to do at college, I used to come and practice at home. I still remember when I came and told my mother I'm going to make beans pugat. So she was saying, what is this beans pugat? Nothing but beans Korean. So, trying to
that is very important.
That's very important. And I had my mother teaching me a lot of cuisine. Even what I didn't learn in college, my mother taught me. So I would advise the students, you whenever you're at home, cook for your family. Tell your mother, today I am going to cook lunch for you. Today, Amma, I am going to make sambar for you. Today, Amma, I am going to make chutney for you. You learn cooking from your mother. It's not that you should come to the college and learn everything. College, we will give you the basics, where we teach the basics, we teach you the hygiene, we teach you the learning methodology, etc., etc. Even today, I would request the students, whenever you are at home, you can always take time for your with your mother. Have a candlelight dinner for your parents. Just do
a gift they can give.
Why not? Do a small barbecue at home. Buy a chicken, make your own barbecue. This is how you learn, students. Yes, I could find a lot of questions on cruise lines. And thank you, Chef, again for your...
My pleasure. It's my pleasure.
I think there were nearly 36 questions. I've never seen so many questions being asked during a session. So that means the children are really got involved in it. And thank you once again, Chef. I would request Mr. Jain, the head of the Department of Catering and Hotel Management, to propose the order.
On behalf of the Department of Catering Science and Hotel Management of AJK College, I feel it is a great privilege to offer a word of thanks for such a great webinar. First of all, I would like to thank our resource person, Chef Ramu Butler, for accepting Ajit sir's request and spending this much of time with us. Honestly speaking, Chef, this was really enlightening. First of all, the topic was awesome. That was a wonderful topic and very much relevant to the current scenario. And especially when people are thinking a chef's job is only to cook and sell. But you have shown that like a chef has so much to do and enormous opportunities and new avenues, especially things like trendologist and all that is it's really new to us, new to me, honestly speaking. Thanks a lot, Chef. And moreover, the way you have presented was time with us. It was really enlightening and thought-provoking. These are not the normal formal words I'm giving, but these are from the down part of my heart I'm saying this. It's truly wonderful. Now I'd like to thank our beloved Secretary, Professor Dr. Ajit Kumar Lal Mohan sir, for organizing such a wonderful session with a great resource person. Thanks a lot, sir. I also like to thank my colleagues, Mr. Jonathan and Mr. Murali, and my dear students to be present as, like sir said, like getting involved sincerely in the whole session. And I'll once again thank the chef for patiently answering all his questions. So it was a wonderful session. So once again, I thank everyone. I also thank my principal, my beloved principal, everyone once again. Thank you. Thank you.